Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the audio edition. This is the tarot reading that focuses on manifesting, helping you to build your imagination, which is why it is an audio version, not a video version. Audio version, all you have here is the screen in front of you with the tarot layout for today. That serves a couple of purposes. One, you can get away from the screen anytime you want. Go get a cup of coffee, tea, soup, spaghetti, whatever the heck it is, and you can still listen. It's my job to lay out a entertaining and informative narrative, okay? It also is the opportunity for you to, especially when you're sitting in front of the screen, let yourself kind of get into a Zen state, an alpha state, a meditative state. Let the images come through to you. Because every tarot reading is an individual reading. All of the stuff I'm talking about applies to everybody who is watching right now. Everybody. It applies differently, and it may not apply in an obvious way. But if you think about it, which is the reason why the audio version, the meditative state, you can put the parts and pieces together for you. Everybody is listening to me. It's the same narration, same narrative, same story. But the way you apply it to your life is what is very different. So we have bottom row, top row. The two center cards in both rows are the critical cards. We begin in the bottom row. Higher power. Higher power. That is an interesting concept. We would like to think that there is some sort of higher power. There is some sort of order to the universe. In part, I think because human beings need some kind of order. We don't need a dictatorship, but we need something or things to kind of, like guideposts, signposts. Where the hell are we kind of thing, you know what I mean? Now, very often that can fall into one of two categories. We become just puppets and we just simply go through the motions and we don't even pay attention and we're just kind of hypnotized and we are born and die and then that's it. That's our life. On the other side, it can keep us from getting too off center. If you know about where the guideposts are for you, where the signs are for you, not somebody telling you, but for you, where those signposts are, and you're conscious of them, you're aware of them, that makes for some sort of comfort and stability. So the idea of a higher power lends itself to the idea that there is some sort of order to all of this that we call life, although many times it doesn't feel that way. It feels like it's just a big jumble of stuff and cosmic dust, and it just kind of, it's kind of a Las Vegas game. You just roll the dice, you see what happens. And there may be elements of that. But we would prefer to think for that guiding force in our life that there is some sort of higher power. There is a reason, a sensibility to all of this. And at this point, for yourself, not anybody else, for yourself, you have to find that connection to this higher power. Whatever you see that as being, and I don't want to limit people. This is your life. This is your opportunity. I don't know if there is such a thing as reincarnation. I'd like to believe it because in nature everything recycles. And of course, as human beings, being that we are alive right now, we would like to think that we'd like to go on. But it doesn't happen. Life is constant change. Stop and think 3 years ago. Stop and think 30 years ago if you're old enough. Stop and think about 3 hours ago. Life changes. That's the rule of life. So, at this point in this reading, you need to find your spiritual center. You need to find your higher power, whatever that is. Let's go first row card to the left, Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is taking a stand. Taking, if you will, the offensive. Remember, wands are enthusiasm, joy of life. Wands often are a card of possibility. It's the stuff, it's the juice that makes us feel alive, like we're plugged in to the higher power. Okay? So that's a great way to begin. Seven of Wands, you are deciding, you will find your version of higher power. Okay? No matter what, you're going to wherever that journey leads you, that's what you're ought to do, because right now you got the Nine of Swords. It's the coulda, shoulda, woulda stuff. That's the stuff that keeps pushing you towards this search for a higher power. You know, it's that sometime overnight, you may get up to get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, whatever it is, and you lay back down again, and the brain just goes, boy, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And you just rip yourself to pieces. Or you may find yourself just doing that throughout the day spontaneously. And again, it always boils down to the shoulda, coulda. If I only knew, if I only followed my gut, if. You didn't. You did the best that you could at the moment. But it's your negative thinking, it's your programming, most of which is not yours, by the way. It was given to you by other people. It's your programming conflicting with maybe your purpose, maybe your higher power. So, Knight of Cups. Love yourself. Knights always have gifts, and Cups is love. The Knight of Cups is sensitive, emotional, introspective too. So you need to look at yourself. Don't rip yourself up with negative thinking. Take that Seven of Wands energy. Take a stand. I will find my higher power. Don't expect it to look like anybody else's. Don't expect it to feel like anybody else's. It is yours. And very often, that's another problem with human beings. We really are sheep when it comes right down to it. So we find ourselves thinking and feeling like the people around us think and feel just because it's comfortable. Because it can be damn lonely taking this journey yourself to your higher power, your source. But that's what you have to do. And the last 3 years has underlined that for you very clearly. All the stuff that you thought was true, you're finding out, if you're paying attention, that is, none of it is true. None of it. None of it. You've been lied to every step of the way. And that leaves you without those signposts, those guideposts, makes you feel very uncomfortable. That's why you're looking for your source now, your higher power, whatever that is. Let's go up to the second row, Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is the broken heart. You feel unfulfilled. You're walking away. You're turning your back. You're burning bridges. You don't care. You cannot go back. You understand that. It is impossible. You know, oh, the good old days. Them good old days is gone. And there's no chance of them ever coming back. And even if you thought that you could, they'd still be very different because of what you have been through generally in life. Secondly, the last 3 years have been apocalyptic for many. Not just in terms of activity, but in terms of thinking. When you see the truth, when you find your way, you can't ever go back. And that's what the Eight of Cups is all about. That's what you have to do to find your higher power. So you have to be dedicated to the truth, like the King of Swords. Love yourself, but really focus your thought. Stay unbiased. Stay open. Stay analytical. You will find and tap into your higher power when you lean more logically. Don't think about going back to the past, the days of old. Don't go back to what it used to be, because it ain't going to be that way. Never going to be that way again. You got to step into the future. That's what the whole thing is about. Drop much of the stuff that has kept you from your higher power. walk that Eight of Cups away, join in with the King of Swords, and coincidentally, the Queen of Swords. I mean, you are in a prime position right now to do some serious reevaluating. When you have the King and Queen of Swords, I mean, right next to one another, my God, you have to be honest, unbiased. You have to be realistic. You have to be perceptive. You have to pay attention. And you understand that now more and more every day. More and more every day. And in fact, 2023 is going to be an enlightening year. If you have pulled your head out of your butt and taken a look around, 2023 is going to permanently change everything in terms of how you view the world. So you need to react like the King and Queen of Swords. Be analytical, not emotional, analytical. Think about what is around you. Don't make decisions. Don't make judgments. Be unbiased. But be open to tapping into your higher power. Final card up top, Five of Wands. Remember, wands are energy, excitement, enthusiasm. The 5 is conflict, bickering, pettiness. You're done with that. You don't have time for that anymore. You're walking away, Eight of Cups, you're walking away from the way you used to feel, the way you used to believe. You are now focusing your mind on being unbiased, paying attention, finding your source. And it's going to be different for everybody. Don't expect even your best friend to have the same sense or feeling about it that you do. They probably won't, and they shouldn't. Everybody's path is their own. Take responsibility. And the final card, a vice versa card, going forward, is the Chariot. So this is self-control, it's willpower, it's focus. If you take a look at, I think, almost any Chariot card, you will notice that there is little or no control of the horses, Sphinx. They're different in every card. But the creatures, they're pulling the Chariot, really not being forced to do anything. It is the willpower, it is the focus of the person in the Chariot that makes all the difference. And if you see in this card, he's got the Caduceus in his right hand, he got the Big Dipper over his left shoulder. He has directions. He is going to heal. He's going to tap into that spiritual juju that is his own, not anybody else's, his own. So 2023, probably beginning now, or maybe by the new moon in a couple of weeks on the 20th, you should begin your journey for your source, that higher power. Expecting nothing, hoping for everything. It's not a trip back in time. It is not a trip that you take with your friends. It's a trip that you take alone. But it's a place, once you get there, once you feel that higher power, that source, changes everything in a very, very, very good way. So there you go. There is the Manifesting Tarot reading for today. I hope you're with me tomorrow. I do a brand new read every day, 365 as you know. But if you're not, between now and the next time you and I have a chance to manifest tarot together. Peace and blessings.